So what exactly is prolapse? And that's a huge question that we often have. So let's dive in and I'm going to explain to you what that means. But first, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. So there are three different types of prolapse. So if we look at this first picture here, here is your pelvic floor. So this is looking down into somebody's pelvis. Here's your pelvic floor here. It's a bowl of muscles that sits in the bottom. It basically makes up the floor of your body. When we do something like a Kegel, it's that muscle that they're talking about is working. It squeezes, it lifts. So when we look at a picture here, so here is a normal anatomy. So this is looking at someone's been cut in half sideways. So there's your pubic bone at the front. Here's your tailbone at the back. This is your bladder here. This is your urethra where you pee out of. Here's your uterus. Here's vagina. And then this is rectum here. So your pelvic floor, and I've accentuated it in blue here. Here it is. So it attaches at your pubic bone at the front. It goes slings underneath everything and attaches at your tailbone at the back. So it basically makes the support or the shelf that our organs sit on top of. So we can get a cystocele, a uterine prolapse, or a rectocele. A cystocele is the fancy term for a bladder prolapse. And so you can see the picture here. Here's your bladder starts falling. The walls of your bladder start falling into the walls of that vaginal canal. So it's falling, and see the pressure that it puts down on our pelvic floor here. And so you can imagine, right, that bulging, that heaviness that you feel, that is why. This is the most common type of prolapse that we can get. Uterine prolapse. So here your uterus is supposed to sit up at the top. Here your uterus starting to fall down into the vaginal canal. And you can see it's kind of bulging down in through here. Rectocele. So there's your rectum, and the walls of your rectum are starting to push into the walls of your vaginal canal or down into your perineum area. So the definition of prolapse means organs falling out of place. And so in the event of your bladder, your uterus, or your rectum, they're starting to fall down. We grade them differently, so different severities of prolapse. In the example of a bladder prolapse, a mild bladder prolapse, it's just going to start falling this way into the walls of your vaginal canal. So if we look at the normal bladder, it's just going to start falling this way. A lot of the time, again, we don't know that it's even there. With a more moderate cases, it's starting to fall down more towards the opening. So if you were to examine yourself in a mirror, you might see right at the opening that you can kind of see inside that there might be a little bit of extra tissue or a little bit of a bulge happening there. And then a more severe case where it starts to protrude beyond the opening of the vagina. I hope you learned a little bit of something from that, and don't forget to check out any of my other YouTube videos on prolapse or incontinence.